Haven't we all felt like we're easy targets for sales tactics or persuasion? Fear not. In this video, you're gonna learn the 6 key principles of manipulation and the tricks used by persuasion pros. So, are you ready to uncover the magic words to skip lines, understand the caution behind unasked favors, and transform sun worshippers into justice warriors? The rule of reciprocation. Quite obviously so, it's based on the idea that people feel obliged to return favors. It's deep-rooted, shaping societies and even global relations. In fact, people may even feel a psychological burden if they don't return a favor. Just like how your mom sends back brownies to your neighbor who previously sent you guys lasagna. In a 1971 study, psychologist Dennis Reagan built up on this rule. Participants who received an unexpected favor from a researcher named Joe reciprocated by buying twice the amount in raffle tickets when asked for a favor later. This sense of indebtedness even outweighed personal likability. The Christian organization in the 1970s similarly exploited this principle by offering flowers to passerby, who, annoyed, often made donations in return. To resist manipulation through reciprocity, it's vital to differentiate genuine favors from manipulative gestures and question whether reciprocation is truly warranted. In negotiations, starting with an outrageous request and retreating from there can win concessions. Let us tell you about another very useful strategy. Let's say you're aiming for a sweet deal. Start with an offer so extreme that a rejection is almost guaranteed. Then scale it down to what you actually want. Why? Because your counterpart, feeling the need to return the favor, is likely to make an adjustment too. It's a classic move in negotiations, often used by labor negotiators. But beware, there's a limit. If your starting offer is way too low, you risk being seen as a bad faith negotiator. This strategy has even made its mark in history, like in the Watergate scandal. G. Gordon Liddy proposed a jaw-dropping $1 million plan to the committee to re-elect the president. Despite later suggesting scandalous alternatives, the committee felt obliged to give in, and the infamous break-in followed. The rejection, then retreat tactic, though successful initially, eventually played a part in Nixon's resignation. FOMO is a powerful motivator. Hurry! Limited stock available! Grab it now before it's gone! Why do advertisers love emphasizing the urgency of their sales? When something is scarce or time-limited, we're more likely to want it. A study found that when people were told about a limited-time sale on meat, they bought 3 times more than when there was no time limit. And if they were told that only a select few knew about the sale, the scarcity effect doubled, making them buy 6 times more. But for scarcity to have a real impact on our decisions, 2 conditions must be met. First, we desire something more if its availability has recently decreased. This explains why revolutions often occur when living conditions sharply decline, creating a sudden desire for something better. A competitive auction, a romantic rivalry, or a real estate showdown. What do they have in common? Competition. It makes us go from being unsure to really eager due to the scarcity principle. Take Barry Diller, an industry mogul who in 1973 paid an astronomical $3.3 million for the right to show a movie on TV once. Why? It was the first open bid auction for such rights, creating a visible competition. In the end, his competitors were relieved they didn't win. To resist the allure of scarcity, ask yourself, do you want it for its utility or just because it's scarce? When scarcity is used against us, it's often the latter. We crave what we can't have. Censorship is a prime example. Ban a speech and suddenly people sympathize with the ideas, even without hearing a word. Courts show a similar pattern. Tell a jury to ignore insurance and they might end up awarding even more damages. It's the allure of the forbidden, just like kids coveting a prohibited toy. This phenomenon is aptly named the Romeo and Juliet effect. Just as parents meddling in their children's love lives can intensify romantic feelings, humans really despise losing opportunities. How to make your life simpler? Imagine you're at the beach soaking up the sun. You want to take a refreshing dip, but what about your wallet and keys? Hide them or trust a fellow beachgoer? Maybe try asking for help. In a study, when people were asked to watch over belongings, 95% turned into near vigilantes, chasing down a stage thief. Why? Humans have a strong desire for consistency. We want our actions to match our words, and this drive is so strong that it can override concerns for personal safety. When we commit to something, we strive to be consistent. Public commitment, declaring our intentions openly, is a powerful force. Salespeople exploit this with the foot-in-the-door technique. By getting you to make a small commitment, like a modest purchase, they transform your self-perception into that of a customer. Beware next time a salesperson tempts you with a seemingly insignificant buy. More pain, more gain. Groups worldwide, from African tribes to college fraternities, employ initiation rituals involving pain or degradation. The reason? When people go through significant efforts to join a group, they value it more, becoming more committed. These groups resist turning initiations into community service because they want members to make an inner choice to participate, reinforcing their commitment. Similarly, salespeople use tricks like the lowball technique to generate interchange. After a remarkably cheap offer, even when the price rises, people often proceed due to reasons they independently constructed. To protect against this, consider if you'd make the purchase knowing the true price up front. If not, it's wise to walk away. Following the herd. Ever notice why sitcoms have laugh tracks? Turns out laugh tracks make us laugh longer and more often, especially at bad jokes. This effect is tied to the principle of social proof, where we often decide what's correct by observing others' behavior. In fact, it's also used by church ushers who put money in collection baskets and companies that advertise products as best-selling to create a sense of popularity and influence consumer behavior. Social proof is particularly potent in situations of uncertainty. To get help in a crowd, it's best to single out someone and ask directly. This reduces the feeling that someone else will do it and increases the chance of getting help. You are who you surround yourself with. People tend to copy others, especially if they're similar. Teenagers often imitate their friends' opinions and styles. But this can lead to serious problems, like the Werther effect, where publicized suicides cause more accidents as people try to make their deaths look accidental. In marketing, advertisers use this by showing regular people endorsing products, aiming at the biggest audience. To avoid falling for this, watch out for fake endorsements and ads. Because if the conversation seems scripted, it probably is. Avoiding products from such companies is a good way to resist being tricked. Social biases toward people. Tupperware parties are a prime example of using compliance tricks like reciprocity and social proof. The clever twist of having the invitation come from a friend, not the Tupperware presenter, is particularly effective. This is because we tend to be more compliant toward people we like. Compliance professionals know how to make us like someone, be it through flattery, claiming similarity, or even leveraging physical attractiveness. Shared goals, as seen in the good cop, bad cop method, and associations strongly influence likability. To guard against manipulation, stay alert for sudden, unusually strong feelings of liking, which may indicate manipulation. Do you do what you're told to do? From childhood, we're wired to obey authority figures without much questioning. Stanley Milgram's studies showed how people can blindly follow authority, even to the point of harm. Real-life examples, like a nurse following misguided instructions, highlight the power of authority in negating independent thinking. Symbols like titles, clothes, and props strongly influence how we perceive authority. Con artists exploit this using uniforms or props to manipulate us. While legitimate authority figures such as judges or reputable physicians deserve attention, it's crucial to identify and resist abuses of authority. Ask 2 key questions. Is this person genuinely an authority, and are their credentials valid? How honest can we expect them to be in this situation? This awareness, along with understanding principles like reciprocity, scarcity, consistency, social proof, liking, and authority, helps protect against manipulation.